Hey, welcome back, guys. So, I thought I would try something new today. It's a game that's it's a little close to my heart because of the subject matter, and I just wanted to show it to you guys, if you haven't seen it before. It's probably kind of obscure, and I wouldn't have known about it if I hadn't been looking for subject matter related to this. So this game is called Fate of the World, and it's a scenario-based game related to climate change. And I'd actually call this game kind of an environmental disaster simulator, if such a thing exists. So my intention today is I'm going to play this mission here, The Rise of Africa, and I'll try to go through each scenario as I'm able to beat them. But this game is very difficult to actually win. I've only managed to win the first two scenarios, but I really am going to attempt to get through all of these. So anyways, without further ado, we're gonna try the Rise of Africa. It's the tutorial for this game. So our win condition here is we have to improve Africa's Human Development Index, or H.D.I, to 70% or greater by 2045. So this is going to be pretty straightforward, as you'll see. But the other missions are incredibly difficult, almost disastrous. They end in depressingly bad results every time I attempt them, at least. But I know there is a solution to this game. There's a solution to every scenario because, you know, these are challenges, and challenges can be overcome. And that's the thing I really appreciate about this game, is it treats the challenges realistically for what this game is. You know, it's not the perfect simulator, but it's a good indication of things that could happen. And hey, if the subject matter doesn't interest you, I mean, the music in this game is really great. And I actually like the GNN. It reminds me of a much more cynical news station that doesn't actually report about environmental issues. Also, in 2020, expect the world to come together on climate issues, according to this game. I don't know how realistic that level of optimism is. We did have the Paris Accord recently, but I don't know how many people are going to get on with that. How binding it is, really, to governments. Anyways, so, congratulations on your promotion as GEO President. As you are new to the organization, this guided tour will help you find your way around. Please indulge our guides as they have useful insights for you. We are very excited to begin the difficult task of tackling the world's problems, and we are confident that with your wisdom, we will succeed in our goals. The world is changing, and it is our mission to direct that change. Yes. Alright. So, how does this game work? Well, let's see. You have your recruits here, and this is a map of the world. In other scenarios, the map is expanded so that you can recruit in every single country. But because this is the tutorial, we're focusing on Africa. So we start with $230 or something like that. Let me see how much we start with. Our money tab. This is our funds contributed from every region of the world. So it's very important that we keep the economy of every country strong, because it directly affects our funding. Now let me see here. Okay, so we are going to recruit in Africa, obviously. It's the only place we can. I can't remember what's optimal here, if I should get cards first, but that's what I'm gonna do, I think. So now that you've got these recruits, you can go to each individual country by clicking on their button, and you can deal with them on an individual basis. So you have these 4 indicators here. It tells you kind of the quality of the country, like how things are going. Their perspective on environmentalism right now is materialist, so they care more about commercial products, and this is kind of like the capitalist outlook, I think, is the materialists. In contrast to that, I think, is the green outlook, where people are much more environmentally conscious and they care about recycling and taking care of the climate, reforestation, and all that other stuff. This is kind of their attitude. So right now they're satisfied. There's nothing that's really troubling them too much. Their militancy, they're assertive. I don't really know what this affects, because I've never really had too much trouble with military, unless things went incredibly terrible in my game. And then stability, which really matters, because the more unstable a country is, the more likely they'll get into military conflict or a civil war. So we want to avoid that. We want to avoid civil wars erupting in North or Southern Africa. This is like the news panel. It lets you know things that are going on in the country, and it gives you hints of issues that the countries are dealing with. It also gives you hints about the things they'd like to see change in the countries. Let's not get to that just yet. This is the regional data. It gives you all the information about each specific country. Their emissions, how much food they make, how stressed they are in terms of their water, like what the water crisis looks like in each country, how much their forests are changing. This has an effect on global emissions, I think. And you also have to balance these types of things. It's very much like real life. Like, you can improve the amount of reforestation in your country, but that will directly impact agriculture, which will have an effect on food growth. And if you focus too much on reforestation, it could cause food shortages in the country. So you do have to consider all these things, and you have to kind of balance them out. And to be honest, even like I don't even understand this stuff sometimes. I'm not an expert on all of this information. But in terms of this game, the one we're playing right now, this scenario, the thing we want to focus the most on is the Human Development Index, and we want it to grow to, I believe, over 70%. And if we click on this, we'll see the things that affect our Human Development Index. Life expectancy is 1, education is 1, GDP is 1. So these are all things that we'd like to improve over time. So let's see how we'll do this. I want to kind of get rid of all these. I'll just explain what these things do to have an impact on the game. So this Environmental Protection Office it's used to resolve issues related directly to the environment. Things such as natural disasters, flooding, water shortages, water stress levels, types of farming, and things like that. The Technology Office helps us advance the technology in a country. It also is kind of like a research and development center for the nations that are more advanced. And you can also, by opening up this Technology Office, you can adopt the technologies of your neighbors as they spread across the globe. There's this Regional Energy Office that lets you control what types of energy your country should focus on, whether it's oil or clathrates or natural gas, biofuels, all that stuff. The Regional Welfare Office is for improving the well, it says right here, health, wealth, and social issues. So some countries have housing issues. You can set up an office to help with that. Some countries have really poor education, and you can help develop education in those countries. So yeah, there are a lot of really important things you can pick up at the Regional Welfare Office. You also have the Political Office here. You can do some very nefarious things here that probably won't win you the game that much. Like sterilize entire populations of human beings. But you generally don't want to do that. This office is mostly for control and stability over a country. So if you have a region that's unstable like this, one method of improving their stability is to send in military forces to help contain the population, or the aggressive elements of the population. So anyways, we're gonna get started. I've rambled on long enough. Let's go back to the first chart. So as you can see, North Africa is water stressed. So that's the first thing I'm gonna try to focus on, is getting their water stress down. And I like to also open up a Regional Welfare Office. And I do the same thing in South Africa. I've never had a need to do anything else. Although their water stress is low, so I don't think we really need the Environmental Office. They're unstable, so what we could do is... the first thing we want to do is get that. And I guess, yeah, we ran out of funds, so let's leave things like this. Other things you can do, you can check the global news, see what's going on. See, the population grew by 270 million. And we want to, this is telling us what we should improve: medicine, education, investment, and employment. We'll try to do all that stuff. for sure. Let's see. There's also a global data overview. It tells us what the temperature of the planet is, the global emissions, how much it's increased. This is like how much emissions parts per million, I think, exists in the atmosphere. I'm not entirely sure. Don't take my word for it. And forcing, I don't know how to explain this, so I won't even bother trying to. And you can, there's some fun stuff here, like fun for the family. You can check how many people have died in millions due to climate change. You can check the global population, what the H.D.I is for humanity, how much money globally is being made per capita, food, you know, all this good stuff. All of this good stuff, including how much energy resources the planet still has. So let's go to the next turn here. So the planet grew by 272 million. The two bars you have here, one is your emissions bar. Tells you how much emissions have risen since 1750. It tells you how much that's increased over the last 5 years. You don't need to know all this stuff, by the way, to play the game. This is just like information to make it more interesting, I think. This is the thing you really care about. Like, you do want to reduce emissions, so you want to keep checking this to see if it's going up. But the thing you really care about is how much the temperature is rising every year. If it rises to 3 degrees Celsius, you practically are going to lose every single game you play here, because that will lead to runaway climate effects that you can't control. And then you're left at the mercy of the environment. Anyways, so let's see. Emissions have increased in Northern Africa by 12%. Falling below the expected increase of 12%. Well, I guess if you break even, that's still better than exceeding the limit. But South Africa is still polluting, unfortunately. I think I know why there's a disparity here between North and South Africa. I'm gonna check it just to make sure. And these hearts indicate support for our cause. So they both equally support our cause right now. We'll go directly to their pages to find out what's happening here. So there's militancy going on. And we'll find ways to improve this. They're dealing with droughts. That's another issue. Technology is slow. And they're attacking our staff and our regional headquarters, so you know that's always fun. But we're gonna deal with their problems right now, so they shouldn't have too many issues. So they're Their water stress, that's the first thing we have to deal with, is their water stress. And is unemployment very low? Unemployment's at 16%, so let's put in a job sharing initiative. Let's see how that helps. That reduces unemployment or not. These guys, are they water stressed? No. Let's see what they're complaining about. Dry year. So that sounds like it'll have to do with droughts and wildfires. And healthcare is another issue they're dealing with. So we'll deal with those two. We'll start a medical welfare program to address health. And we'll put up Environmental Protection Office. We couldn't do that last turn. Let's expand our influence here by buying more recruits. So what else can we do here that they really need? They're having drought issues, so we'll deal with their drought issues. And I find that I could have set up a political office to control the population's stability, or stability. But I feel that addressing the actual issues is a better solution than trying to beat the population down. How's their unemployment doing? 17%. So yeah, let's put up a job sharing initiative. Then we're gonna focus on education after that. So I'm going back one by one to see if I can balance things out here. We'll do the education as well here. That should help things out. Oh, actually, how sick are they? Oh, they're very sick. Well, we'll focus on health before we focus on education. Okay, that should be fine. So 2 million people have died. That's promising, I guess. It could be much worse. North Africa and South Africa are emitting very high. Let's see. We got some bonuses. I didn't even check what the bonuses are, but we handled water scarcity apparently. If only it were this easy, right? Just click on a card and you can deal with water crisis. But yeah, we defended against droughts as well, so. We dealt with anti-drought efforts. We dealt with their topsoil problems, apparently. And you can just pause to read this stuff. I don't want to stay on it for too long. But yeah, so our healthcare program is really helping out here. All the stuff in the green is beneficial to us. All the stuff in red is an issue. So yeah, look, even job sharing is so good now that unemployment's on the decline, this card froze over because unemployment's not much of an issue anymore. Let's deal with the good before we go to the bad. So yeah, and also our initiative to deal with weather and droughts is helping out. Now we're dealing with monsoons that reduce rainfall, so that's going to be another water issue. And storms are a big issue right now. Poverty is an issue, tech is an issue, and wire stress is still an issue. So let's see what we can do. Let's get rid of the job sharing program. We don't need it anymore. They're still water stressed, probably. Oh my god, their water stress is even higher now. So we gotta reduce water stress as much as we can. We'll deal with droughts. I think we'll do all environmental defense right now for them. Just want to take care of everything we can. Job sharing was successful here too, that's why it's frozen over. Alright, so let's deal with their issues now. Let's see. So we want education. They're not water stressed. We don't. Oh, we do have medical welfare, so their health is being taken care of. Not entirely sure what to do here. I think climate protection, or you know, this protects agricultural industrial yields, so let's do it anyways. Let's do it anyway. And we'll grab some new cards. Should we get... They're complaining about their technologies, so maybe we'll... Oh geez, it costs $1,000? I guess they don't want us to play around with that yet. That's why it's so expensive. Huh. Are they running on coal? Yeah, they need the coal, so... Huh. Okay, so instead, I guess we'll get a political office going. We can also pick one up in North Africa, because things are getting really bad now, so... Sorry, we have some money saved over, so we'll just grab some recruits. As much as we can. We'll see how that works out. So 33 million people are dead now. Oh boy. So war's broken out in Africa. That's not good. I guess I didn't handle the situation as properly as I had hoped. What's the H.D.I here? Oh my gosh. What about South Africa? We're on target for South Africa, but not for North Africa. Oh boy. We're gonna have to declare martial law. How about education enrollment? We'll help them transition to deal with climate issues, maybe? Or do we want to improve their food supply? We'll help them adapt to environmental issues, I guess. There's not really any other cards that would be helpful in 2 turns. You really shouldn't be doing many long-term projects in 2 turns. Could they survive without coal? Yeah, they don't use any coal at all. They use like 75, I think. Man, they really don't like us. Let's do coal-free industry. See how that turns out. That'll help reduce their emissions. Not by much, because they're not too into it, but South Africa is getting more stable. That's what we like to see. We'll do a little bit of, let's see. We'll help them with higher education. We don't need any of that stuff, so. How about subsidized biochar? That improves their food supply. And I guess flood, wildfire, and storm defenses, like stuff like that. And maybe we'll protect their land and soil. Only 50 million people died this turn. I guess it only took about a couple years to end conflict in North Africa. And what else is new, guys? The Middle East is at war. It's okay though. Everything will be fine. And North Africa has reduced its emissions below its target. That's pretty good. Same thing with South Africa. And North Africa suddenly loves us. That's fantastic. We do only have 1 turn now, so we have to complete our mission objective in this turn. Let's check the death toll so far due to climate change. 50 million. Cumulative 80 million, I guess. Man. Right. Well, we only have control over 2 places, so we have to control the death tolls here, really. So let's check the I need to check the HDI. 65. I think we might actually fail this. It's just embarrassing to me. Anyways, so coal no longer used in industry. That's good. Drought mitigation. So we're helping people adapt to droughts, other climate effects. We brought peace to North Africa. Healthcare is still going strong. So how else can we, in our last turn, how can we improve things here? Well, I guess we could do that. Maybe job growth? Or should we be protecting their land and soil? I don't know, what does their forestation look like? They're not massively emitting. Their emissions are only 1,500. We could do something to reduce their water stress. I don't think that's an option though, so... Well, let's try that, see how that works. Let's see what South Africa looks like. So they're dealing with monsoons. That leads to water shortages, so let's pick up the enhanced water. Also, let's check their... Okay, so their H.D.I is over 70%. I don't like the instability, though. So I think we'll pick up... Yeah, we'll give them security assistance. That should deal with their stability issues. Anything else in their news that's interesting? Helping with their grasslands. Healthcare we already knew about. We got them to sign the World Forest Treaty. So that, yeah. So they actually do make they make money from protecting their forests, and it helps reduce global emissions. So yeah, so far so good. Let's go to the next turn and let's see if we lose and how badly we lose. Uh-oh. Arctic methane. Oh man. Temperatures are soaring. Apparently. Oh, I like the sound of that. That's triumphant music playing. So emissions have increased by 336,000. That's a lot. But it's okay, we don't care, because we beat the game, I think. I can hear it. And less people died also at the end of the game. That's a good sign. The Middle East seems to have settled down. Oh man, North Africa and South Africa are massively emitting again. That's not good. They still really like us, but we didn't get them all the way there. And there you have it. We saved Africa. We raised the H.D.I above 70%. Here's all this good stuff you can check out after the game. See how much emissions have been reduced or how much they rose. Your card activity. All these different stats. Let's see, where's Africa? So South Africa is 4th lowest in terms of H.D.I, and North Africa is the 2nd lowest. I hope that they just continue to improve, and then things will sort themselves out. But we did what we could, given the amount of turns that we had. Our final temperature is 1.7 degrees Celsius, which is just a little bit higher than the actual global temperature right now. I think is 1.5 degrees above pre-industrial levels. Our planet doesn't look too red yet. It's not burning, so that's nice. Is there anything we could check out before we leave? Let's see how they were doing at the very last turn. So they had some strengths. Grassland management is doing good. Drought mitigation is doing good. We've got healthcare going on. They're liking what we're doing in terms of environmental defense. And the things they're going to have to worry about will be increasing technology and dealing with the changes in weather patterns. And even North Africa is transitioning into natural gas, I think, it looks like, for their energy needs. South Africa, we're countering their deforestation, but they're concerned about food supply, which, yeah, that's a real issue. It's El Nino season. Healthcare is good. This is something I should probably research because I've never heard of this before, but methanogen vaccinations for livestock. Apparently this reduces agricultural methane emissions. I've never heard of this before, so I have to look it up. Oh, but South Africa is dealing with huge wildfires. So I wish I could help them, but that's it. I can't do anything else. It's the end of the game. So, thanks for watching, guys. Oh, while I'm here, I might as well show some other stuff. You can check the change in population, whether it's growing or declining, on this globe over here. Take a look at that, where all the major regions are, all the major populations are flourishing or declining. So there's also temperature change, which you've seen already. You can see where on the surface of the planet the temperature is changing. And most of the temperature change in this game happened in the Arctic, the north. The polar ice caps probably melting away. Change to Earth, I think, is the default that we usually see. Or it might just be specific events think it's the specific events of the turn. And you can you can just hover over them and they'll tell you what's happening. So thanks for watching. I hope you like this. I hope you if you have the opportunity, you try this game out. Especially if the subject matter interests you. It's a really interesting simulator for environmental disasters, and trying to come up with various solutions to each country's individual problems. So I'll come back with the next scenario. I hope you guys might be interested in seeing that. Until then, see you guys later, and take care.